Hey, liberal fruitcakes! Ooh, this one's gonna be fun! The gender pay gap! Let's talk about it! The gender pay gap doesn't exist. Have a good... Wait, I actually have to explain it? Okay. First and foremost, let's get it out of the way. The Equal Pay Act of 1963. This mandates that men and women must be paid equally for the equal amount of work that they do within an establishment. This only applies if the skill is equal, the responsibilities they perform are equal, and working conditions are equal. So if you are doing the exact same job, you are required by law to be paid the exact same amount for that work, regardless of gender. Now we need to look at Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This prohibits employer discrimination based on sex. This includes pay discrimination. So between these two acts, it makes it illegal to pay somebody less just because they're female or male. So to simplify, if you are doing the exact same amount of work that requires the exact same amount of skill as your male or female counterpart, you are required to be paid the same. Now, these protections do not include pay systems like seniority, merit-based systems, systems of measured earnings when it comes to quantity or quality of goods and services, and other factors like education, experience, and skill. Now, the biggest argument is that women are paid like 80 cents to the dollar in comparison to men. This is a way to lie with statistics. It doesn't point out or take into consideration any other factors. So let's look at those. Job type. Studies have suggested that women generally will concentrate in lower paying fields, education, nursing, and other administrative roles, while studies show that men generally pick higher paying fields, technology, engineering, and finance, to name a few. Now, before you come attacking me on this, let's look at the top highest paying jobs. Highest paying job as of 2025 are pediatric surgeons, with an average salary of $439,000. 22% of pediatric surgeons are female. Cardiologists make $423,000 a year on the average. 14% are female. Orthopedic surgeons, only 5% are female, with an average salary of $378,000 a year. Radiologists currently average between $350,000 and $400,000 a year. Approximately 27% are female. Now, these are just a few. That being said, a big factor is career choice. Now, I can hear you guys screaming, you gotta factor in education. Education is no longer an excuse. With 65% of females graduating high school seeking college education, while only 57% of males seek an education after high school. In 2022, 39% of women were graduating with bachelor's degrees, while 36% of men were graduating with bachelor's degrees. So again, one of the big factors is the career choice. I mean, look at welders, construction workers, bricklayers, oil rig workers. They're predominantly male fields. And those are dangerous jobs. Now we need to look at work experience and career interruptions. Women generally will have career interruptions due to maternity. This can lead to gaps, which lowers the level of work experience they will have. While men generally don't. We can acknowledge this, while understanding that it is an external factor that does not contribute to implicit bias. In addition, the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed a study where men on average will work 40 plus hours a week, while their female counterparts on average will work 36 hours a week. On top of that, we need to look at full-time versus part-time. Men on average gravitate more towards full-time positions, while women will generally gravitate towards part-time. This falls back on the occupational choice of part-time having more flexible hours that can accommodate these work-life interruptions, such as child rearing. Now, anyone who says child rearing is not a full-time job is a disingenuous person. Now, there are other minor things that can contribute. Negotiation. Studies have shown that men are more likely to seek and negotiate better terms for pay. Also, as a matter of male ego, men are more likely to pursue jobs that they are underqualified for, while women will generally wait to be qualified for that position before seeking it. So there are a lot of things that can contribute to what the perceived gap is. And while a very small portion we can acknowledge is bias, the largest contributing factors to this perceived gap, which again doesn't really exist, comes down to personal choices. Career, full-time versus part-time, hours worked per week, choice in maternity, having children, child rearing decisions, etc. Now, if you're still with me, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw some videos about the WNBA complaining about pay, saying they deserve to get paid more. Well, we talked back a couple minutes ago about skill-based jobs in which the pay system is reflectant on revenue for the product. Basketball is one of those systems. The NBA generates $11.4 billion in revenue a year, while the WNBA loses $40 to $50 million a year. A loss. They don't make any revenue. So if we're looking at revenue and quality, they're actually being paid extremely fair. In fact, their male counterparts in way of revenue are getting paid less. Because again, the WNBA is subsidized by the male league. Now you guys are going to get mad at me saying, that's not fair! Half of the world population is female. If you want the WNBA to get paid better, watch their sport. Have a good day!